Hello everybody, it's Maikito, and I'll quickly go over yesterday's picks. The two that I sent for price picks unfortunately missed. Ayozi and Demirovic both ended at 0, so that really surprised me. Ayozi got subbed out at half, and Demirovic just didn't get a shot even though they did win, which leads into my money line. The one money line that I sent, Augsburg money line hit. You got that one for plus money, so that was good. And the two underdog picks that I sent, Kedira and Danso, both hit. There's a really large slate tomorrow. I'm trying to get this out soon, but there was just a lot of picks to go through, and honestly, sometimes with when it's large slates, I get a little overwhelmed just because there's so much, and I'm trying to find the best for you guys. I honestly could have made this list a lot longer, but one, I didn't want to make this let this video go out too late, and two, I just wanted to just go ahead and trust myself with the picks that I like. I'm sure I'll add more plays tomorrow throughout the day, but I found a lot that I like for you guys when it comes to tomorrow's large slate. So I'll just go ahead and get straight into those. My first pick is in the Italian Serie A. It is Roberto Piccoli to go higher than 2.5 shots, playing at home for Lecce, going up against Empoli. He averages 3.38 shots per 90, and the reason why I say that is because he's played like 20 something games, but he's only started 7 of those, and he will play. I'm confident that he's going to start this time because Kristovic is suspended, one of the main attackers, so he's going to be subbed in his place. In the 7 games that he has started, he's gone over this mark in 6 out of 7 games. He had 5 against Roma, 4 against Salernitana. He played Inter twice. He went under against them once with 0, and then went over against them with 3. Torino he had 3, Frosinone he had 4, Empoli he had 3. So it just goes to show you that whenever he starts, he's going to shoot. And I like this matchup going up against Empoli because, first of all, Empoli allow a lot of shots. They allow 16 shots a game. And not only that, Empoli is actually Piccoli's former team that he was in the previous 2 seasons before this one, and they barely gave him any playing time. And one of the 7 games that he started was against Empoli, and he had 3, and now he's playing them at home where Empoli is weaker, and he's going to start, and he's going to want to prove a point. So I like Piccoli to go higher than 2.5 shots. My second pick is in the German Bundesliga. It is Harry Kane to go higher than 4 shots, playing for Bayern, going up against Köln. He averages only, well, I say only, but he still averages a lot. 3.8 shots away from home, but it goes all the way up to 5.4 at home. He's gone over this in his last 5 out of 5 league games. Köln allow 17.1 shots away from home, and I just like the value that you get for Harry Kane at home going against a weak team at 4. I do understand that they might need to rest some players because they are going up against Arsenal, but regardless, they still need to try to win this game because they are still not completely safe when it comes to them losing their Champions League spot. So they can't just assume that they're going to get it because there's still 6 games in the league, and I just like the value for Kane to go higher than 4 shots. And my third pick is actually his teammate. I wasn't sure on which one to pick, whether to go, it is Jamal Musiala, whether to go his over 2.5 shots or his 0.5 goals and assists, sorry. So I put a little bit of stats for you guys to decide which one you want to take, or if you do separate slips, do one on one slip and one on the other. But in 9 starts at home, he has 8 goals and assists, so he averages almost 1 at home. And he's gone over 3 shots in 6 out of 10 games, and he averages 2.92 per 90. And he seems to thrive against weaker teams. You can look at his games against Darmstadt, for example. And I know he's going to either shoot a lot or pass a lot, which is why I put both of them, because he's going to do one or the other or both. So I'm Bayern are projected to score 3, and I believe he'll be involved in at least one of them. And when he wants to pass, he'll pass is really good, and when he wants to shoot, he'll shoot. So you can choose either or Musiala higher than 2.5 shots, or his 0.5 goals and assists. My next pick is also in the German Bundesliga. It is Luis Openda to go higher than 3.5 shots, playing at home for Leipzig, going up against Wolfsburg. He averages 4.4 shots at home, so already over this mark. He had 6 against them last game away from home, and he's gone over this mark in general in his last 4 out of 5 games in the league. At 3.5, I'll take him against any team at home unless it's like Bayern or Leverkusen. But other than that, even I'll take him. Dortmund, any team at home for Openda higher than 3.5 shots, and I think it's a pretty good steal to take. At 4.0, I wouldn't take him just because he would need that fifth for him to go over. But at 3.5, I like him to get that fourth. And Leipzig have nothing to play for anymore other than the league. They got eliminated from the German Cup. They got eliminated from the Champions League and everything. So they have nothing to play for anymore. So all they need to focus on is on the league, and they need to try to win to keep one of those top four spots. And Openda playing up top for Wolfsburg, he'll get plenty of chances. So I like Openda to go higher than 3.5 shots. My next pick is in the England Premier League. It is Erling Haaland, higher than 2 shots on target, playing at home for City, going up against Luton. He didn't play them the first time that they played in the league, but he did play him in the FA Cup, and that's where he scored 5 goals, I believe. He had 7 shots, and out of those 7 shots, every single one of them were on target. And I think this is going to be a morale boost for him because he absolutely ghosted in this last game against Real Madrid, and he's going to play him again next week. So Luton is a perfect team for him to get his morale back, and he will likely have De Bruyne starting that game. And if De Bruyne plays, I like this even better because he's just going to feed Haaland. When De Bruyne plays, Haaland scores, and I need him to get 3 shots on target. He had 7 against him last game. And Luton is better at defending through balls, which is where Haaland likes to thrive as well, and allow 19.8 shots away from home. So like I said, it's just a perfect dream team for Haaland to get his morale back and for him to go higher than 2.0 shots on target. And my last player pick is in the Italian Serie A. It's Michele Di Gregorio, higher than 1.5 goals allowed, playing away from home for Monza, going up against Bologna. Bologna have scored 2 or more in 4 out of their 5 home games. Their only miss was against Inter Milan, so I don't blame them for that. Monza are weak against skillful players, and Bologna have plenty with Zerki and Ferguson and Orsolini, and they allow 16.7 shots away from home, which is below average and actually pretty high for an Italian team. And they aren't good at stopping opponents from creating chances. So Bologna have actually had a really good season in the attack, especially at home. And this is a good chance for Bologna to take advantage. And also, they're also fighting for these top 4 spots for the Champions League. And if you notice, I'm targeting these teams that are fighting for that spot because they have a lot to play for. And Bologna are also another team that only have the Italian League to play for in their top 4 spots. So Bologna will capitalize on this. It's just whether they take their chances because Di Gregorio is a pretty good keeper. But I like Bologna to score 2. So that means Di Gregorio to go higher than 1.5 goals allowed. I know if I would have kept... I looked on all the games, and there were a lot of plays that I did like as well. But some of them were leans, and I didn't want to make the video too long. The only ones that I did kind of like... I know on Underdog, you can take Ben Brereton for Sheffield United to go higher than 1.5 shots. And I believe you can get him for like a multiplier. So I'm thinking of taking him, putting him in the slip. I kind of like that play. As well as Gurasi for Stuttgart to go higher than 0.5 goals. He has scored in his last 5 straight. And Stuttgart, I predict they'll score 2. 1 for sure, obviously. But they might score 2. And I feel like Gurasi will be involved. But those 2 are my leans. There are others that I like as well, and like I said, if I do add more, they'll be in the description of the video either tonight or tomorrow. But when it comes to money lines, teams like Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern, all these big teams, City, I'm afraid to take them just because they might not play their starters or they might not play as hard because they all got Champions League games coming in the next 3-4 days. So I'm just afraid to take them. And I just don't want to take that risk of taking these heavily juiced teams that are projected to win, which they would in any other week. But because they're playing important games in a couple days, I just don't want to take the risk of taking them and them just easy teams losing our money. So I found 2 that I like that if you put together, you should get pretty close to doubling your money at plus money or like minus 105. So my first one is in the German Bundesliga. It is the Leipzig money line going up against Wolfsburg. The main reason why I like this pick is not only is Leipzig good in the attack at home, but Wolfsburg struggle in the attack away from home. And if they don't score, they don't stand a chance against Leipzig, because Leipzig will probably at least score 2. And I doubt Wolfsburg will score 2, like very, very much doubt it. They could maybe squeeze in 1, but they're really bad in the attack away from home. And like I said earlier, this is all Leipzig have left to play for in the league. So they can play the full starters, play full strength up against Wolfsburg. And Leipzig at full strength will beat most teams in Europe, especially Wolfsburg. And they need to win to stay in the top 4 spots. They are currently 4th, and they're tied with 5th. The only reason why they're on top is because of goal difference. So that just gives an even better chance for Leipzig to go out and go aggressive against Wolfsburg. And my second one is in the Italian Serie A. I kind of talked about this game earlier with the Di Gregorio pick. It is the Bologna money line going up against Monza. They've gone over this mark in 12 out of 16 home games, and the other 2 were draws and 2 were losses. Monza may score a goal, but I believe they won't. So if you could take their under 0.5 for plus money. Bologna have only conceded 8 goals in 16 games at home, which is the reason why I like Bologna's defense, and another reason for them to take their money line. Their main key for Monza is Di Gregorio, because because Monza allow a lot of shots, he gets a lot of saves and has prevented goals. But Bologna is a clinical team. If Monza allow 16 shots like they do against other teams, Bologna will win. They'll be clinical against their chances. And I'm pretty sure I mentioned earlier that they're also fighting for a top 4 spot to go in the Champions League. And I can't remember the last time Bologna was in the Champions League. It's been at least 10-15 years or something like that. So there's a big mark for them, and they need to go out there and win. They're great at home. Their home games have been carrying their top 4 position. So I like Bologna money line going up against Monza. Those are all the picks I have for today. So if you like any of them, make sure to do your own research just in case. And if you want to take those bigger teams, you can. I'm just stay away from them because I don't want to take my chances. But if you like the content, please like and subscribe, and consider commenting to help boost this video to other people. I already mentioned it earlier that if I find more plays, which I likely will, I'll add them in the description of the video. And because there's games going through the whole day, it could be at any time. So just make sure to come back and check to see if I added any more. But I really appreciate everybody for watching this video, and hopefully we can all cash out tomorrow.